What's going on, everybody? Rob here, aka Trev2323. Resetting my time clock, my body clock, to start to get up with the sun. Part of this is for my solar system. I'm troubleshooting and everything with my solar system. Okay, so I got the garage, and there's the 4 panels on the side that are halfway in the sun now. The 2 panels on the roof are fully in the sun, and on the other side of the garage, there's 2 more panels on the roof. The 2 panels in the roof are 24 volt panels, so they're in the series to make 48 volts. There's 400 watt panels down there. They're 12 volts, so they're in series to make 48 volts. And then those are Trina solar panels. They're on the other side, and they're in series also. So there's 3 panels, 3 strings in series. That's the combiner box that could take another set of panels. My next 4 panels are going on this side, the other side of the over here carport, and there's going to be 4 panels. 2 of them are going to be in series like that, but then they're going to be in parallel coming down the side of this under the ground into the string right there. So those panels are 400 watts. Those panels are 230 watts per panel, so that's 460 watts. Then the other side, but the other side is not in the direct sun. The sunlight is completely coming from this side. During the season, when it changes, the sun comes diagonally from over that way, this way. That's why there's 2 panels on the other side. After I put those panels in, they're going to be series, then parallel. I'm going to parallel those to put in another string. Then I could put in 4 more panels. Little by little, those are used Trina solar panels. I just found some more down in Indianapolis for $140 per panel, so I want to get 4 more of them for that string. Okay, so let me show you this right here. I got everything connected to my smart BMS. I got a Daly, D-A-L-Y smart BMS, and it had a new update, so now I can see how much watts my tanks and my lights are bringing. But this is fluctuating. When the heater goes on, it goes up to 300 and something watts. The panels over there, this is the Daly application right here. My batteries, this is not connected to the Growatt. If this was for the Growatt, it would say a single cell, because my 14 batteries right now are in series, but they're in series for the BMS for the Daly, but they made 1 battery. So according to the Growatt, there's 1 single cell connected to it because I made 1 battery, but they're in series. Okay, so this is 77 watts it's pulling in. 77 watts, I mean, it's taken out at 1 amp, and the solar panels are coming in about 55.2 volts. That's how much power it's sending to the battery. But you see the power is fluctuating, and sometimes it was going up to 300, so that's when the heater's going on. So now I'm able to monitor this so much better, and I really do appreciate monitoring this. Now, this is going a little bit up and a little bit down depending on the sun, but those other 4 panels are not completely in the sun yet. The ones down there on the side of the garage, when the sun gets up more direct, those full panels are in sun longer, for a longer period of time. All right, so here's what I've been trying to do since I've been trying to watch that to see if it's going to go up to 300, but let's go by what I have powered on right now. Okay, I'm going to keep this because I want to see how much it's taking and bringing out. Okay, so all this is powered by the sun right now. There's a 125 gallon fish tank, 125 gallon fish tank. The filters on top of this one. This has I think a 200 watt heater in it. There's an air pump for this one, filter on top of that one. No air pump in this one, but I mean no air pump, no heater in this one, but a pump behind that. That's a 40 watt light bulb, that's a 36 watt light bulb, and this is a 40 watt light bulb. All that is being controlled by the Growatt. Now right now it's saying it's using the sun and the battery. The sun and the battery pulling 120 volts, and the battery's at 55.1 volt. So intermittently throughout the day, the sun trickle charges. You see it went off. It's trickle charging this 48 volt battery right here. Now this is a 48 volt battery, but at full charge is 56.3 volts. So with the sun, full sun, sometimes I'll get 56 volts out of this, but on average it stays around 55 volts because the voltage on the panels is bringing in is about 55 volts. That's how much volts those panels are bringing in. So right now all that is running. Today's the first day that I'm running the lights on. Okay, I normally have my lights go on between like 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. at nighttime when we're down here, but it just makes more sense. It makes more sense for me to set my body to get up with the sunrise, and I manually come over to plug all this in and turn it on. This is the first day the lights are on. This is the first day the lights are on. For the past week, for 8 hours a day, these tanks been going solely off of the sunlight. Okay, so you see my Growatt is not plugged into anything. So what I do is I come and I plug my fish tank cord into the Growatt, and I unplug it from the grid every morning. Then about between 3 and 4 I come and then I switch it back, because I don't have to do that. I could leave this plugged into the grid. I mean, yeah, plugged into the grid. I could leave it like this, plugged into the grid, and when the sun goes down, it'll charge the batteries, and then it'll start using this right here. But my battery bank that I built right now, this is only 1 kilowatt hours of power, is not sufficient to run the Growatt, because the Growatt does use power, and run all the fish tanks overnight. With the sun, I barely got smidgen enough electricity to run the lights, but for the tanks will run for 8 hours a day off of the sun. So this is how I gotta start parallel, and why I gotta start paralleling the panels. This is a 3,000 watt inverter right here. So if I didn't have these fish tanks right here, I would start rewiring my house panel, and I would put all my lights in the house off of the solar, because my lights would be able to power, the sun will be able to power all the lights in my house. I would do that first, and then I would do the TVs in my house off of the sun. But right now, these bad boys are sucking up electricity. I had 5 fish tanks before, and when I did the electricity monitoring or whatever, I was running $30 a month off of running fish tanks. So these are my last 2 tanks I got, and I'm trying to get down to 1 tank, but my wife loves those crayfish over there. So you see right now it went down to 54.9, so I lost 0.3 volts. I lost 0.3 volts, but those 4 panels on the side are not in the full sun yet. Also, this is showing me once I add those other 4 panels, I can run this for 8 hours a day, no problem. So I started out with the 400 watt renogy's on the side, only 400 watts, and then I started out with this first, and this is $850. Then I went to the 400 watt renogy's on the side. See, it went up. The sun went back on and it went up. I told you it averages 55 volts. Okay, so then from here I went to the renogy on the side, 400 watts, and then from here I built this battery. These cells right here are $8.50 a cell. There's 14 of them. This is $100 Dali BMS, and all the wiring that I got. The cooler's down there because this was in the cooler, but I had problems, so you could watch the video on that. I completely love it. There's people out there that say they have trouble with this. They can't get their Growatts on. There's a YouTube video, Secrets of the Settings. It really helped me troubleshoot this 2 different times. And there's other inverters out there. This is an all-in-one inverter. This is a solar inverter, so it collects the sun. Then there's a sine wave inverter over here, which makes this 48 volt turn into 120 volt. There's a battery charger in there, so the sun battery charges these. This is an all-in-one system. It has a fault setting and all that, so I got that from Watts 24/7. WATTS 247. Watts 24/7. The guy has been awesome with helping me troubleshoot that thing if I ever had it. So people say they hate their Growatts, they can't get customer service, they can't get this. I got my inverter from Watts 24/7. He shipped it to me. Guy picks up the phone, messaged me back, whatever he wants to do, and he's walking me through this Growatt. I absolutely love mine, but there's people that can't get the customer service that are having problems with it. All right, these batteries, these cells, I got from Battery Hookup out of California. You got to pay for tailgate shipping, ground shipping. I got these from Battery Hookup. These are the LG chempack, the SIMPH08 batteries. So now I should have went with 16 and a 200 amp and Dally. It's more money, but that's what I should have been with. But since I went with 14 and a 100 amp Dally, I'm gonna parallel 3 of these. So I am gonna build 3 more of these and parallel this, and then I'll have enough power to get me through the night. Meanwhile, with the tanks. But if you don't got all these tanks right here, you could start with this. And you could put this on your LED lights in the house. You know, a LED light, a 60-watt bulb only uses 8 watts. A 60-watt bulb only uses 8 watts. So you could start with this and do the lights in your house. I get up here to, I don't want it on the grid. So I wake up, when the sun is up, I wake up with the sun, and I manually unplug it and manually plug it in. If I had more batteries, I wouldn't even have to get up to do that. If I had more backup batteries that'll last overnight, the batteries will charge it in the night. When the sun comes up, the sun will charge it. My next step is getting, those are Trina, used Trina industrial cells, 5 to 6 years old. They have a 20-year warranty. So I've been looking for the exact same ones. When you have the panels, you should have the exact same panels. So I've been looking for, and I found them about 3 hours away. So I'm probably gonna go get 4 of them. Now, if you have the money, you could buy a pallet of used industrial set panels and have them tailgated to you, and you're pulling, you know, a couple kilowatts of power just with that. But you have to have the space. I have to strategically figure out where I'm putting these because the sun, and we're in a smaller city. I would prefer to have these on my front lawn instead of watering grass, bringing in power. All right, either way, I just wanted to share with you that I do have this up and running. Today's my first day with the lights on. I'm gonna see how long it can power with the lights. I have my indoor garden right here, so that's a 40-watt bulb for my, these are just overwintering. I do have sage and rosemary that's doing good. Bromeliads, that's celery over there. I'm trying to overwinter my peppers in here. That's cabbage down there. I gotta redo the cilantro. That died outside. So, and those are Gerber daisies over there. So either way, I just wanted to show you, I'm pretty excited that I haven't finally taken some of my electric power off of the grid. And there's one guy that he got his own setup, but he didn't go with lithium ion. He went with I think AGM batteries, and he got his Growatt inverter, and he got his pallet of panels. But he got 12 or 16 panels, 3,000 watts every day coming in, not connected to the grid. His house, he could do his LED 8-watt light bulbs and all that off of those panels. My whole goal is going to be, if I get another one of these could daisy chain in each other. These could daisy chain in each other. I'll probably get a 5,000 watt one standalone on different breakers, because I find it easier to troubleshoot. If this one's going out, I troubleshoot this one. If this one's going out, I troubleshoot this one. To have to troubleshoot a whole series, I think is a lot harder to do. So I am gonna get standalone, and I'm gonna have different breakers. My intention is having my TVs and my lights and my, you know, vent fans on solar, but my boiler, my refrigerators, and my boiler, my refrigerators, and my deep freezer on the grid. That's what I want to. We're pulling 14.5 kilowatt hours per day, so we're still using energy. We're still trying to narrow that down. I'm trying to get to 10 kilowatt of power a day. Look up Dave Paz. He brings in 10 kilowatts of power to the sun or more than that. He has his whole batteries. He's not connected to the grid, and his whole house is off of solar power. Another experiment that I'm going to do with this one right here is there's 200 watt heaters. They're wall heaters. They're only 200 watts. It's supplemental heaters to your heating system. They're not going to heat your whole house, but I like to put 4 of them around the house, and then, you know, those will be back on the grid meanwhile, and plug 4 of them into here. That's 800 watts, and plus the whatever the Growatt is bringing in, and then that'll supplementally heat the house. I'm gonna see what this is saying it is. Still pulling in the 100, taking out 181 watts from it at 3.3 amps. It's 55 volts right now. I told you, as long as it's maintaining 55, I'm in business. I know the battery could do up to 56. If I wanted to get that up to 56 volts, I plug it into the grid will charge it all the way up. There is another screen to look at on this right here. Now this is saying it's pulling 4.7 amps, but let me show you this. Now this screen right here shows you it's pulling 0.23 kilowatt, 0.92 kilowatts, but this shows you each individual battery, and how much volts are in each individual battery. They can max out at 4.2 volts, and they go down to, God, I think 3.2 volts. Now those are SIMP OH8 or SIMP 8OH batteries. All right. Either way, I'm super excited that this is finally going, finally up and running. And what took so long is just the money to piece it together. I am a hobbyist. I do this as a hobby. 850, about 500, and then the solar panels 400 for the renogy, 400 watts. But I found these Trina solar ones that I've been using, and I've been looking because some people have pallets, and then I buy them off the pallets. Believe it or not, my first 4 I got for 50 bucks each. I'm a veteran, I'm a YouTuber. I went down to visit the guy in Michigan City. He sold out of them. He had pallets upon pallets. He sold out. And I found the guy in Indianapolis, so I'm probably gonna go, because he's selling them for $140 per panel. But they're 240 watt panels. They're huge industrial panels, and I'm trying to stick with all my Trina solar panels. Eventually down the road I'll go with different panels, but right now I'm trying to go with all like panels. I just think it's easier to troubleshoot. It works together and meshes together. Talk to you later. Subscribe, like, and share.